Ever get that feeling that the real secrets to getting wealthy are sort of hidden away? Maybe in some dusty old book?
Yeah, like it's some kind of code we need to crack.
Exactly. Well, what if those secrets aren't actually that hidden? What if they were laid out like almost a century ago?
Ah, you must be talking about The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason from the 1920s, right?
That's the one, set in ancient Babylon, but the financial advice, it still really rings true today.
It absolutely does. And for you, our listener, the learner, who wants those key financial insights without, drowning in jargon.
This book is kind of perfect, isn't it?
It's pure gold. It uses these really engaging parables to teach fundamental truths about money. You get those aha moments without the headache.
So our mission today in this deep dive is pretty simple. We want to pull out those timeless principles for building and managing wealth from Classon's stories.
And the book's core idea is that these rules are, well, simple. The same rules that supposedly made Babylon the richest city way back when, like 6,000 years ago.
And Clason argues they still apply, universally.
He really emphasizes that financial success, that abundance, it's reachable for anyone who grasps these basics.
And we're going to use the 7 cures for a lean purse as our main framework today, right?
Exactly. The book presents them as the essential starting point for getting your finances in order.
Okay, let's get into it. The first story features Bansir, the chariot builder, and Kobi, the musician.
Right. Living in Babylon, supposedly the wealthiest city ever.
But despite working hard at their crafts, their purses are empty. What's going on there?
Well, the fascinating part is their realization. They suddenly see it. They're skilled, they work hard, but they've never actually focused on acquiring wealth. They're just, busy building chariots or playing music day to day.
So the active pursuit of gold, as they call it, just wasn't on their radar.
Not at all. It's like they're running hard but not really getting anywhere financially.
And that realization hits them hard, so they decide to do something about it.
They decide to seek out Arkad, the richest man in Babylon.
Makes sense. What are they hoping he'll tell them?
Basically the secret. Right. They see him living well while they're just scraping by. Their big question is, why can't we get more than just enough to live on?
A question lots of people probably still ask today.
No doubt. They see others have figured it out, and they want to know how.
So who is this Arkad? Was he just born rich?
Not according to the book. He started poor, actually. Worked as a scribe, carving clay tablets.
Really? So he learned the secrets himself?
He did, from another scribe named Algamish. And that leads directly to the very first piece of advice Arkad gives them.
The first cure.
The first cure for a lean purse. Start thy purse to fattening.
Which means?
Save. Consistently save at least 1/10, 10% of everything you earn. Pay yourself first.
10%. It sounds, well, almost too simple.
It does, doesn't it? But Arkad shares his own experience. He was skeptical at first, too.
And what happened when he tried it?
He was surprised. He found he managed to get along just as well on the remaining 90%.
It's like your spending just naturally adjusts, right?
Exactly. It highlights that basic idea. Setting aside that portion, even if it feels small, is the crucial first step.
The book uses a great analogy, too, something about a tree.
Yes, it's lovely. Saving consistently is like watering a young tree. Little by little, with regular care, it grows strong.
And eventually bears fruit. Your savings become this substantial asset.
Precisely. It sets the stage for what we call compounding today, even though the book doesn't use that term.
Okay, so cure number 1, save at least 10%. Got it. What's next?
The second cure, control thy expenditures.
Ah, budgeting?
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
But the goal isn't about starving yourself or anything.
It's about being intentional.
Right. Knowing where your money is going, making sure you cover necessities, have some fun, work towards your goals, all within that 90% you have left after saving.
But budgeting gets a bad rap sometimes. People feel like it's restrictive, like that student in the story.
Yeah, the one who called it slavery.
Huh. So how does Arkad counter that?
With a really practical analogy, think of a pack animal, like a donkey, getting ready for a trip.
Okay.
Would it load up with heavy, useless stuff, like jewels first? Or would it prioritize the essentials? Hay, grain, water.
The essentials, obviously.
Right. So your budget should focus on what truly matters, what adds value, and stop you from, wasting money on things that don't. It's a plan, a roadmap, helps you spot the leaks.
That makes a lot of sense. Intentional spending, not denial. Okay, so save 10%, control the other 90. What's cure 3?
Cure 3 is make thy gold multiply.
putting your savings to work.
Exactly. Saving is fundamental. But Arcad says gold just sitting there isn't doing all it could. It needs to be invested, put to work to earn more.
So moving beyond just hoarding the savings.
Yes. Finding ways for it to generate income, lending carefully, investing in businesses you understand, that sort of thing.
Investing can sound intimidating, though. What kind of advice does the book give?
Caution is key. Big emphasis on due diligence. If you're lending money, be really sure the borrower can and will repay. Check their reputation.
Don't just give it away, hoping for the best.
Right. And if you're investing in a business, understand the risks involved. Know what you're getting into.
Arcad learned this the hard way, didn't he? That first investment.
Oh, yes. Painful lesson. He gave his savings a whole year's worth to a brickmaker.
A brickmaker gonna buy jewels. Sounds iffy already.
Well, the brickmaker knew nothing about jewels. He got ripped off, bought worthless glass. Arcad lost everything.
Ouch.
The big takeaway. Get advice from people who actually know about the thing you're investing in. Ask a jeweler about jewels, a farmer about livestock, not a brickmaker about jewels.
Okay, lesson learned. Seek expert advice. Which flows nicely into the next cure, I imagine, protecting what you have.
You got it. Cure 4. Guard thy treasures from loss.
Don't lose your principal.
Absolutely. Invest where your initial money is safe, where you can get it back if needed, and where there's a reasonable expectation of a fair return.
And again, talk to wise people who know how to handle money.
It keeps coming back to that, doesn't it? Protect your capital above all else. Growth is great, but not if you risk losing the seed money.
Makes total sense. Okay, cure 5 takes slightly different tack, right? About your home.
Yes. Make a thy dwelling a profitable investment.
Own your own home.
Arcad argues strongly for it. The stability for the family, the personal satisfaction.
And in the story, the city walls expanded, making land cheaper. What's the modern takeaway?
The principle holds. Long term, owning your home usually means your housing costs can decrease relative to renting. You're building equity in an asset, not just paying someone else.
So you free up money for other things down the line.
Right. It becomes a form of investment itself.
Okay, from shelter to future planning. Cure 6.
Ensure a future income. This is about the long game. Planning for retirement, for when you can't earn as much, or for unexpected events.
Making sure you have support later in life.
Exactly. Through safe, long-term investments or making other provisions.
And didn't Arcad even touch on something like life insurance, which seems pretty advanced for ancient Babylon?
He did. It's quite remarkable. He talks about a concept where lots of people pay in small amounts regularly.
Pooling the risk?
Yeah, creating a fund to help families if someone passes away. It's the basic idea of insurance, ensuring dependents are provided for. Really forward-thinking.
Wow. Okay, that brings us to the last one, Cure 7. This one feels like it ties it all together.
It does. Increase thy ability to earn.
Keep learning, keep growing.
Right. Arcad links it back to Algamish, noticing him working diligently as a scribe. The idea is that opportunities come to those who improve their skills, expand their understanding.
Work your way into the light, as the book says.
Something like that. The more valuable you make yourself, the higher your earning potential. It's about investing in yourself.
So it's not just about the money itself, but your capacity to generate it. Powerful stuff.
Yep.
Now, the book also summarizes Arcad's wisdom through another story, Calibob's Tale, and the 5 laws of gold given to Arcad's son, Nomasir. How do these connect?
They're essentially a super concise version of the cures, boiled down to 5 key rules.
Let's quickly recap them. Law 1.
Gold comes gladly. Basically, save that 10th.
Law 2.
Gold works diligently. Make your savings work for you, wisely.
Law 3.
Gold clings to the cautious owner. Invest based on expert advice.
Law 4.
Gold slips away. Don't invest in things you don't understand or based on bad advice, like the brickmaker.
And Law 5.
Gold fleas avoid impossible earnings, scams, or trusting only your own inexperience.
And Nomasir's own story is a perfect example of learning these, right? He messes up first.
Oh, big time. He gets a chunk of gold from Arcad and basically squanders it by breaking all those rules.
Impulse buys, bad partnerships.
Yep. But eventually, through hard work and, finally internalizing those 5 laws, he not only gets back what he lost, but multiplies it. It shows the laws actually work in practice.
We also get insights from Mathon, the gold lender. What's his angle?
Mathon adds this layer of responsibility that comes with wealth. He really stresses being careful, especially with lending.
He has that story about the farmer and the animals.
Right. Helping friends is good, but not if it means you end up in trouble yourself. Don't jeopardize your own security.
And his token chest is fascinating. All those little reminders of loans gone bad.
It's quite revealing, isn't it? Each token tells a story about why a loan wasn't repaid, borrower weaknesses, unrealistic plans, just plain eagerness for gold without a solid strategy.
And that inscription inside the lid.
Better a little caution than a great regret sums up his philosophy perfectly. Keep your gold safe, lend carefully.
The book also uses the image of the walls of Babylon, a metaphor for
Financial security, protection, just like those massive walls protected the city and its wealth.
we need our own walls.
Exactly. Modern walls built from things like insurance, savings accounts, solid investments, protection against life's unexpected blows.
Then there's Dabasir, the camel trader. His story is about overcoming debt, right? Even slavery.
It's incredibly inspiring. He gets deep into debt, loses his freedom, but then has this powerful realization.
That his debts are his enemies.
Yes. And he makes this determined plan to fight back, allocating 2/10 of his earnings, one for living, one for saving, and two specifically to pay down his debt systematically.
And didn't they supposedly find actual clay tablets matching his plan?
That's the claim mentioned in the book, yeah. It adds this layer of historical authenticity, suggesting these principles were real and documented.
And it wasn't just ancient history. There's that letter from the 1930s.
Right, from St. Swithin's College, detailing how a modern couple used Basir's exact principles, lifting debts, contacting creditors, sticking to the repayment plan to get out of debt during tough economic times.
It shows the method's endurance. Really powerful.
Absolutely. Confront the debt, make a plan, stick to it.
Okay, one last key story. The luckiest man in Babylon. Sharunada versus Hadan Gula. Work versus, well, instant gratification.
Pretty much. Sharunada argues that consistent work, grabbing opportunities, that's the real key. Hadan Gula is more focused on immediate pleasure.
And Sharunada lived it, didn't he? Started as a slave.
Yes, and through sheer hard work and willingness, he earned his freedom and eventually became partners with his former master's son, Arad Gula.
Because good work gets noticed. Megiddo's wisdom, right? A master values a good worker.
Exactly. It reinforces that core idea again. Wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Effort and seizing chances lead to reward.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, looking back at all these stories and cures and laws, what are the big recurring themes that jump out?
Well, it consistently comes back to a few core pillars, doesn't it? Save a portion of that 10%. Control your spending budget wisely.
Make your money work, invest prudently, with good advice.
Protect what you have, guard against loss. Plan for the future, ensure long-term income.
And keep improving yourself. Increase your ability to earn.
Those really are the threads running through the whole book.
And it's just remarkable, isn't it, how these simple rules, supposedly from thousands of years ago, still offer such a solid foundation for financial well-being today.
The context changes, the tools change, stocks, bonds, digital banking, but the underlying principles about human behavior and money, they seem pretty timeless.
The fundamentals remain the same.
Exactly. Diligence, prudence, planning, continuous learning.
So for you, our listener, maybe take a second now. Which of these ideas, these cures or laws, really hits home for you right now? Where are you currently at?
And think about this. What's one small, concrete step you could actually take today to start applying that principle?
Because remember that line from the book, wealth that stayeth to give enjoyment and satisfaction to its owner comes gradually.
Because it is a child born of knowledge and persistent purpose. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's built.
So perhaps the final thought to leave you with is this. How can you take these ancient insights, this Babylonian wisdom, and really make it work in your own modern life?
Reflect on the stories, the principles. Consider how cultivating these habits, even starting small, can help you build your own path to greater financial well-being. It's definitely food for thought.